Have you ever wondered about the origins of the 12 tribes of Israel? This incredible story isn't just ancient history. It's a powerful narrative of promise, struggle, and divine faithfulness that has shaped the world. Today, we're going to journey back in time to uncover the complete history of God's chosen people. From a single promise to a great nation, our story begins not with a nation, but with one man and a monumental promise. His name was Abraham, later known as Abraham. God called him out from his home and made a covenant with him. As we read in Genesis, God said, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." This was the seed from which everything else would grow. It was a promise of land, descendants, and a blessing that would extend to the entire world. This divine promise was passed down through generations. From Abraham came his son, Isaac. And from Isaac came his son, Jacob. Jacob's life was one of wrestling. Both literally and figuratively, he wrestled with his brother, his father-in-law, and even with God himself. It was after one such encounter, a mysterious nighttime struggle with a divine being, that his life was forever changed. God gave him a new name, a new identity. "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." From this moment on, Jacob became Israel, and it is from him that the people of Israel would take their name. Israel, as Jacob was now called, had 12 sons. These 12 sons would become the patriarchs, the founders of the 12 tribes of Israel. Their names echo through the pages of Scripture: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Each son would father a family, and each family would grow into a tribe, a distinct community with its own identity and destiny, yet all bound together by their common ancestry and their shared covenant with God. It's crucial to understand that God chose them not because they were perfect. Far from it. The stories of these brothers are filled with jealousy, conflict, and human frailty. We see this vividly in the story of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own jealous brothers. Yet, despite their flaws, God's purpose prevailed. He used their brokenness to orchestrate a plan of rescue and redemption. God's choice was not based on their merit, but on his own unwavering faithfulness to the promise he had made to Abraham. This is a central theme throughout their history: God's faithfulness in the face of human unfaithfulness. Due to a severe famine in their homeland, the fledgling nation, the families of these 12 sons, journeyed down to Egypt, where Joseph, through a miraculous turn of events, had risen to a position of great power. At first, they were welcomed and lived in prosperity. But as generations passed, a new Pharaoh rose who did not know Joseph. Fearing the growing number of Israelites, he enslaved them. For 400 years, they suffered under brutal oppression, their cries for deliverance rising to the heavens. But God had not forgotten his promise. He heard their suffering. As God revealed to Moses at the burning bush, "I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering, so I have come down to rescue them." God chose an unlikely deliverer, Moses, a Hebrew raised in the Egyptian court, to lead his people to freedom. Through a series of 10 devastating plagues, God demonstrated his power over the gods of Egypt, culminating in the first Passover, where the angel of death passed over the homes of the Israelites marked with the blood of a lamb. What followed was one of the most dramatic events in history. Pursued by Pharaoh's army, the Israelites were trapped at the edge of the Red Sea. But God performed a mighty miracle, parting the waters for the people to cross on dry land, and then closing the sea over the pursuing Egyptian army, destroying them completely. Israel was free. On their journey through the wilderness, God solidified his relationship with them at Mount Sinai. He gave them his law, the 10 Commandments, and established a covenant with them, saying, "I will take you as my own people, and I will be your God. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, who brought you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians." They were no longer just a collection of tribes. They were a holy nation, set apart for God. After 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, a time of testing and preparation, the next generation of Israelites, led by Joshua, stood at the threshold of the land promised to their ancestor Abraham centuries before. God fulfilled his promise, bringing them into the land of Canaan. He parted the Jordan River, brought down the walls of Jericho, and drove out the inhabitants of the land before them. The land was then divided and allotted among the 12 tribes, each receiving its own inheritance. It was a time of fulfillment and new beginnings. Facing this new chapter, Joshua made a famous declaration of faith that would define the nation as calling, "As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." Over the next few centuries, Israel was governed by a series of judges. Then, desiring to be like other nations, they asked for a king. The era of the monarchy began with Saul, followed by David, and then his son Solomon. Under Solomon, the kingdom reached its peak of glory and the first temple was built in Jerusalem. However, after Solomon's death, the kingdom tragically split in two. 10 tribes in the north formed the kingdom of Israel, while the tribes of Judah and Benjamin in the south formed the kingdom of Judah. This division led to centuries of conflict, idolatry, and eventual exile for both kingdoms. Yet, even in judgment and dispersion, God never completely abandoned his people or his promise. The prophets foretold of a future restoration and, more importantly, of a coming Messiah who would arise from the tribe of Judah, from the line of King David, and this brings us to the ultimate fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham. Through the tribe of Judah came Jesus Christ. His lineage, as traced in the Gospel of Matthew, goes all the way back through David to Abraham. Jesus is the ultimate blessing to all nations that was promised so long ago. The story of the 12 tribes is not just the story of a single nation, it's a vital part of the story of God's redemptive plan for all of humanity. It's a testament to a God who makes promises and, no matter how long it takes or how flawed people are, he always keeps them. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith and history. See you next time.